I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to the Road to Glory. In today's episode, you're going to see my first Foot Champs game of this session here. We are currently 4-4. I'll talk about it. We've already talked about it yesterday. That is it's a harsh representation of how I've been playing this weekend, and it's, in my opinion, albeit biased, I'm sure, it's a little bit unfair, but hey, you're also going to get to see the Ultimate Pack a lot sooner than you normally would, because I did it, because I wasn't desperate, but I was kind of hoping for someone specific, and, okay, we got someone, but it wasn't obviously one of we'll wait, anyway, we'll get into that. CB, first comment, says, "Hi, I'm getting bored of my Road to Glory. Was thinking whether I should restart this late in the year. Please help me with the choice. Thanks." I mean, it depends on your situation, I guess. I mean, I would actually really like to start again, personally, because that's the most enjoyable part of FIFA for me, is starting a brand new club and having to use players you don't normally want to use, trying to build the coins up to be able to get some improvements on the go. The only issue is that it's really late in the day. You are behind the curve massively. Even if now you manage to build up build up to a weekend league, and then you manage to get into it and get your first set of rewards, you are still likely to be behind, because you're not going to have the luxury of starting again during a team of the season, for example, where you get all these guaranteed packs that you might be able to pick up and all these cheap team of the seasons that keep coming out of packs. Now everything's out and gone and done and dusted. It's going to be harder for you again to grow a good team. Now, if you've got the time, I mean, why not, right? What else have you got? If you've literally achieved everything you want to on your current account, and you're bored and you don't really want to be playing anymore because what's the point, then yeah, by all means, start again. Because I think if you've got the time to do it, it's a very enjoyable thing to do. And of course, it's a challenge. So this is the team that I've currently built, ready for the Ultimate. I had to give him a little position change there, but we are at full chem now, or at least 70 chem, the full chem required. We're basically on the rating. I'm going to give up Sergio Ramos and Mendy. I mean, have I given up my PK already? I think I might have done. I don't care about them. They're never going to play. I mean, I have the opportunity to use them now with full chem, right? And I'm just not doing it, so what is the point in keeping them? João Pedro is a objective card, as well as Belotti, of course. Belotti is a good player, but he's just not good enough anymore. A couple of 82s in there with 80 rated goalkeeper. Another Norwegian cam from the Rest of the World SBC, I think. And, of course, Immobile, who we got from probably was it the Deluxe? Either way, completely irrelevant. More than happy to give it up. Kubo won't get played ever again either, because he's just not good enough. So I think it's time that we just submit this away. Yes, and just go and get it open, I guess. This is, by the way, after the whole they removed it and put it up debacle. So had I opened this, when was it? Like an hour after it came out or whatever, there is a chance we would have got like Sancho, because he was popping out of every single pack. They took it down, they've put it back up again, so now we're going to get Sommer or Hummels, no doubt. But, you know, it would be rude not to do it. To be honest, Sancho would actually be really good. A couple of other... I mean, Henderson wouldn't be terrible. He's not really worth it, but let's just get into it and see what we get. I just don't want to see that Swiss flag. To be honest, I don't really want to see the German flag either. Okay. Okay. We have got ourselves Jadon Sancho. He goes into the team. He fits the team. I mean, I was saying earlier on my other account that it would have been awesome had I got this card on the Road to Glory, because he fits the team and he works really well because he gets a link to Ings. Witsel might be able to come back into the team. But yeah, in general, that is a very good pull. The only little sliver of frustration from me is the fact that I can't really... I've only got one player to review, right? But hey, I'm alright with that. So what do you think of that, eh? Jadon Sancho, after he was, not he was removed, but after the pack was removed, the weight was reduced, obviously, and then they brought it back out again. I'm not really sure, and I'm sure no one is, but I'm not really sure what the situation was. I mean, we can all speculate. I pretty much think it's a case of EA released the pack with the wrong weights, and it was giving out a little bit more than what it should do. Maybe it was giving out specifically Jadon Sancho, and they weren't too happy about that. And of course they've altered it, which obviously means that the packs are rigged in a sense. You know, maybe they're not rigged for good or for bad necessarily, but they are rigged, and they are manually calibrated to give you certain players over certain other players. We kind of knew that obviously it's not a complete even playing field with packs, otherwise everyone would be packing Mbappe's and Neymar's out of the Ultimate Team of the Season packs. I knew it wasn't a case of every player has an equal percentage of coming out, because that wouldn't make any sense. However, it is blatantly obvious now that EA will literally manually apply the percentages based on what they want you to pack, rather than what the market would dictate, or rather than anything else, you know. So it's a very interesting thing. And of course EA acknowledged that there was a problem, but they didn't tell us what the problem was. They've had several questions, several hundred thousands of questions regarding the situation, and they've not answered, and we're unlikely to get an answer. This will just be forgotten about. We won't forget, the streets won't forget, but EA will just, no, we'll never mention that again, and everyone back to normal. Coming up against some really good teams here. Like I said, we were 4-4 yesterday. Got one disconnect in there. One of those other sort of 50-50 dodgy games. The other one was absolutely horrendous gameplay. I say absolutely horrendous. Compared to two of the games I played in this session, actually not that bad. Because the two of the games I played within this session were, I mean, unreal. I couldn't move my players. Like, sometimes it's bad when things don't go the way you want them to go. You know, you're pressing pass and maybe it doesn't register. You do a heel to heel, it doesn't register. Those kind of things is just every day on FIFA. This was literally a case of I'm moving left on my controller and my player is standing there. And then he goes, and it's like, what is this? I won both of them, so, you know, I'm sure I would be moaning a lot more had I not won them, but and I'm guessing my opponent maybe felt the same as well, but everyone felt really slow. I mean, they've got like 96 Team of the Season Sancho in there, as well as other players who are just insane agility and speed, and they felt like I was using some, I don't know, Drogba's base card or with 20 stamina. It just felt like that. This game was a very good game against a team that I knew I was going to be in trouble right from the get-go, because I saw that team and I thought, right, well, this is going to be a good player because he doesn't need the top cards. You know, he's got the base meta, which is Mbappe and Neymar and all the rest of it, but they're not any special item or special version of that player, and that's what gets me worried more than coming up against full Team of the Season, full Team of the Year sides, because those people will buy their way, or maybe they'll just accumulate those across the way. Maybe they've got pack luck. Those teams don't worry me. Coming up against base gold teams, that worries me. And this guy was a good player. I think we managed to pick up, I know full well we managed to pick up the win. CC, LFC 8, and that's his name twice, build a bronze team, and I'm having so much fun using it. I like to do that. I don't get to do it very often because it's not something people care to watch. But I've got a full Newport County team on my main account that every now and again, if I've got a spare 20 minutes or something and I'm wanting to play the game, which, believe it or not, does happen more often than not these days for some reason. I knew he'd scored as soon as he had me there with Son. I thought, the dragbacks come in. My brain didn't engage quick enough, and he did it, and he scored, and it was 2-1. And then it was a Jadon Sancho masterclass that got us out of the mud. It was insane. Yeah, bronze teams are fun because you go into the game with absolutely zero expectation. Your opponent assumes you're either off your head or assumes you're going to give him the win, right? So you start playing and then they go, oh, this guy's got a bronze team, I don't need to worry. And then all of a sudden, you start knocking it about, and they're like, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here? And then you get a goal, and they're like, oh, wow, this guy's just scored on me with a bronze team. Getting a gold team to rage quit when you have a bronze or silver team is the best feeling in the world. And yeah, I would actually urge anyone to go and try a full bronze or a full silver team out. As you can see here, with 10 minutes to go, we are losing 3-2. Correction, it is 3-3. Thank you very much, Noble. I appreciate your kind words. Premium silver is actually quite good. You're paying for the sprint speed, so you can pop a hunter on him and for a speedy fun card. Yeah, thing is, with the 94, if you put a hunter on him, you've still got a very quick card. I just don't really understand the point of paying an extra 160,000 coins for a card that is, okay, it's better, but it's not like head and shoulders, wow, this card is insanely good compared to the 94. It's like, oh, well, that's like 5 better, that's 4 better. If I was going to do it, which I'm not, then I would do the 94, just to save myself some money. So as we load in to Ultimate Team here, or about to load into my account actually, James says if you have 4 wins, you need another 10 for gold 3, not gold 2. Yeah. If I said I need 10 wins now to get gold 2, then I apologise, I meant gold 3. I know 14 wins is... Anyway. Harvey, your comment. He said, understand what you're saying about David Silva, and I was just thinking... and I just think people want the better version, so then it looks better in their team because it won't be too much difference. But that's my point, right? We'll look at that team in a second. But I mean, that's my point. For there are going to be 2 different types of people who do this. One is going to be those who are fans of Man City or Spain or David Silva in general, and who want him for their main team. If that's you, yes, you're going to do the 97 regardless of how much extra it's going to cost you because you want the best version. I understand that. If this was Jordan Henderson, for example, let's not talk about Jordan Henderson. Let's pretend we're talking about, I don't know, Firmino, because Firmino doesn't have a team of the season, right? So this is Firmino, okay? 94 rated version of Firmino, 97 rated version of Firmino. I can fit Firmino in my team because I have Gomez and Trent. I take Ings out and then I put Firmino in, and all of a sudden we're sorted, right? So would I go for the worse version or the better version, even if there is 160,000 coins difference and not that much in the way of stats difference? No, I'm not going for the 94, no chance. I'm going for the 97. So from that point of view, more than understand why people would do it, right? But if the other type of people who are going to do this are those who just want to get the card just for the sake of having the card and just for the sake of completing the SBC. So to those people who will pick him up and maybe use him a handful of times, the 94 is going to be more than adequate for your needs because you're going to complete it. You're going to play like 10, 20 games max, and then you're never going to use it again. And believe it or not, those people do exist. If you're sat there and you're thinking, what, those people don't exist? They do exist. A lot of people do that, myself included. I mean, I mainly do it for content purposes, right? But there are people out there who will go, I'll complete this, why not? I've got what I need in the club, I'll just do it. They don't think about why they want to do it or why they're actually doing it until they have it in the club and they go, right, time to turn it off, or time to go into Weekend League without this card, you know? So that was just my thought process. I just don't think it's a massive difference. People were saying the sprint speed is the difference, and the sprint speed makes the world of difference, right? And I do get it, 79 sprint speed compared to the, 85? So that's 6 overall. So you're really, really telling me that you are happy to pay an extra 160,000 coins to get 6 sprint speed. I know full well that you get like 3 finishing, 3 shot power, whatever it may be, you know, across the board. You get 2 or 3s here or there. There's 1 or 2 stats that maybe go up by 4. But I just don't really see that 160,000 coins is worth that extra 6 sprint speed. You know, like I always say, each to their own. If you want to do it, you crack on. I am not here to tell you to do anything. If you want to do it and you think it's value to do the 97 over the 94, who am I to argue? Get it done. Anyway, it should be there forever, by the way. It's not, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So this is the team that we are currently playing due to that Sancho coming into the team. And we are very fast approaching the point in which I didn't think we'd get to this quickly, and that is to have a team that is almost, it's not, because there are upgrades to be made, but it's almost to the point where the upgrades are going to be few and far between now. You know, before we were trying to tinker with the team to try and get the side how I wanted it and how best it sort of played. And we were using Allen. I had Lozano in there, Politano was in there. They all three of those, apart from maybe Lozano, who can kind of still do magic. Politano, for me, I don't know what it is. He was just going missing. I didn't care. First 45 minutes, it was just a case of let's try and do the basics. Then we bring on Nani in the second half. And the second half is where we score most of our goals, is where we do most of our damage, because Politano wasn't good enough. Lozano was good, kept him on the entire game most of the time, and Allen did a decent job, but they were massively behind the curve. Kamada is a card that I love. He is just magic. The ball sticks to his feet. He scores goals other players could only dream of scoring. Axel Witsel comes into the team to give chemistry to Sancho, but also get that link from Hazard, so he's on full chem himself. And by doing that, we then have to remove Allen, because I don't want Modric, Witsel, and Allen in the same team. So we take Allen out, which now brings the question, do we go and do the Allen flashback anyway? Is there actually a point? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced there is anymore. So, because Witzel's actually very, very good as a CDM. 4-2-3-1, he's the CDM. He's the one that stays back. And then we've got Luka Modric, who has got free roam in that middle to do whatever he wants. And then the front three is Sancho on the right, Hazard on the left, Danny Ings as the striker, Kamada as the cam, and it works really, really well. The addition that I would like to make is what we started doing yesterday, and that is to take Kamada out, pop him on the bench, get rid of probably Allen off the bench, and then to bring in flashback Mertens here. Gets a soft link to Witsel. He'll be on 8 chem, because I've tested it. And then we're at that point where, do we want to replace Saul, because he's not actually a centre-back, although he is doing a very good job? And do we eventually want to replace Gomez, because he's 85 rated, and even though we have a mammoth amount of games played with him, he is an 85 rated card, and there are better cards out there. You know, he has himself a Team of the Season card. I don't know how much it is, but he has one. And there are other players out there who link. The other question I have then is Ings, when we get to that point, you know, when Mertens comes in, when we replace Gomez, and if we decide to sort out Saul or we decide to keep him, I'm not sure. Are we at the point then when we're thinking, right, well, the team's done, end the road to glory, job done? Or do we think, right, well, Ings is a good card, and I'm thoroughly enjoying him. His record, this is all weekend league. I don't think I've played a single game of rivals with Ings. He is very, very good. He's a natural born goal scorer, very, very good. But he's not as good as he could be, or as good as some of the other cards are in the game, right? So do we then, at that point, think, well, maybe we look to make an upgrade? There are new cards coming out on Wednesday, by all accounts. You know, that they've got that, what is it called? Summer Heat? I've done a prediction of what I think we may end up seeing. Go check that out. The card design is completely different to what the actual card design is, but the premise is still there. There are still plenty of Footmas cards that EA haven't reissued, which I'm sure they will do, and there's plenty of those knocking about. And then there's a load of other cards that have the potential of coming out, and some of them may or may not fit the team. But I think at the point of Mertens coming in here, we then need to look at the centre-back. I would love to know how much that Team of the Season Gomez is. As you can see, 848,000 coins. We have enough in the club to go and upgrade a few things, right? So he is 1.4 million, which is no surprise, and there's only one on the market. So maybe we don't do that. So then we start going into, well, who do you replace him with? Because we need a Premier League centre-back, kind of, you know? Yeah, we do, because if Mertens is played in the middle, yeah. See, Van Dijk doesn't work, because, not that I'm saying go and get, like, the base Van Dijk or anything, because if I'm going to do that, I might as well stick with Joe Gomez, but if I went with a version of Van Dijk, whether it be base, inform, or whatever, he doesn't get the full chem because there's 2 dead links. We'd have to swap Oblak for De Gea, which I'm okay with, believe it or not, because De Gea is just as good as Oblak in my opinion. But, or for me at least, he is. So, like, I mean, it would work if I did that, but is is Van Dijk, like the base Van Dijk, essentially, that much of an upgrade over Gomez? I mean, on paper, maybe, but in practice, I don't think he is. Because he's got 61 agility, 53 balance. It's just not good enough against a lot of the team of the season attackers that we'll be facing game in, game out, right? So I don't really know what to do in terms of my centre-back pairing, because I'm going to need, for as long as Ings is there, I need a link into this centre-back. Whether it be hard link or soft link doesn't matter, but I need a link. So he either needs to be English, which rules out everyone outside of the Premier League, or he needs to be just from the Premier League. But if he's only just from the Premier League, he either needs to be Spanish, whatever nation Oblak is, which is Slovenian. It's just too difficult. I need either Gomez, or Gomez. And that kind of... I'm stuck, you know, which is really irritating. But is where it is. The ultimate team of the season pack, by the way, has kind of rinsed me dry a little bit. I mean, I've still got a few things in the club, but in terms of completing this Mertens, I wanted to get it done, like, quickly. That was a complete team ready to submit, and that ultimate pack has rinsed me dry, as you can see. So now I'm in a position where I'm going to have to try and rebuild this. I am happy. Oh, Chris Smalling is an option. I mean, it's not really because of the Italian link, but then... hang on a minute, my brain is working. So Chris Smalling's team of the season card is not expensive, I don't think. So if that is the case, and I pop him in there, he gets 2 soft links, okay? We don't... No, we do. I was going to say we don't need the link to Modric, but we do need the link to Modric. Yeah, that's not ideal. I was going to say we could maybe go for Manolas, Smalling, and then go for a different, like an Italian league goalkeeper, whoever the, like, Handanovic team of the season or whatever. Because then we've got 3 very high-rated goalkeepers we could put into SBCs if we went with a completely different goalkeeper. Because Manolas is my favourite defender in the game. He's so good, but he's so difficult to link. I don't know. Smalling is an interesting one. I mean, I could possibly play Smalling on 8 chem, maybe. Don't know if I'd want to do that, if I'm honest, but hey, it's a possibility. I'm not sure. Not sure. We could maybe play Trent. I tell you what I could do, and I haven't really thought about this, but I could. I don't really want a left. I don't really want a left-footed player playing on the right, like as a right back. That is something that could work, because if I switch out the manager for an English, fix this centre-back situation where we actually have a centre-back there from the from the Spanish league, and then I use a English Bundesliga manager, maybe, or an English Serie A manager. Once we put Mertens in there, we could get Trent on 7 chem. I mean, if I put De Gea in there, does that help his chemistry at all? Does he get 8 chem then? I don't know how chemistry really works with, like, off chem. No, it doesn't. I don't really know. Well, I don't know the situation with that, but yeah, I mean, that is a thing. I would rather maybe do it that way round and just have him on. He's only on 4 chem then. I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility, though, trying to work that out. Maybe get Wan-Bissaka and just play Wan-Bissaka at centre-back. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. To be honest, I think I'd be alright with that. Play Trent or Wan-Bissaka at centre-back. Don't mind which one, because they both got their merits. Maybe, don't know, have a look at their stats, see which one would make the best centre-back. But that could be a thing I decide to do, actually. And then sort out that centre-back to actually be a centre-back. And then we're sorted. Get Mertens in here. Speaking of which, can we get Mertens done anytime soon without spending copious amounts of coins? I'm in the wrong section. I mean, I know I could get this done right now. I could go buy the cards required to get it done right now. But I want to try and do it without spending too much, if not any money, really. What do we need? An Italian league player. We've got that. We need a Belgian for something, don't we? Is that the... Yeah, so this one we need a Belgian for, which I more or less had complete. There was a left back in here. That's an 85 rated team, but we are 15 chem off. So if I put a Italian league right back in here, maybe... Does Crescito work? Yeah, he does. I mean, yeah, it's not too bad, actually. So that works. And then that maybe is overkill for an 85 rated team. I'm not really sure, because I've got an awful lot of low rated cards in here. And it's because I've got the Osimhen and my Mahrez in there. We would still need to find 9 chemistry somehow. Maybe take him out and put an Italian league goalkeeper in would be the way forward. I guess if I wanted to try, if I went and bought Sirigu, or let's buy Buffon because he's likely to be cheaper, that gives me the chemistry that I need, but it probably means I could avoid using someone. So could I do that? I could do that. So we could save him. Could I save... Obviously can't save Osimhen. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe. No, I can't save him. I could save Lasagna... if I get an 84 in there. So that's something that I could do to get that done. And then another 85 rated team. And then, of course, this 86. So there is a chance I may be able to complete this with what I have in the club. Because Florian Thauvin, for example, I don't care about him going. That doesn't make a blind bit of difference to me. 3 of these goalkeepers, man. Honestly, one of them has to go. I just don't envisage a situation where Ter Stegen is going to be needed anymore. Like, De Gea is there if I need that Premier League link, so I kind of want to keep him. But Ter Stegen, as good as he is, if he doesn't get the full chem, then what's the point? But then at the same time, when Oblak, or rather when Saul leaves that position, because he's not staying there, unless I'm using a centre-back from Atletico, might as well go and just use Ter Stegen. And there is maybe a chance I could use Ter Stegen if I go with a Barcelona centre-back, for example. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. But just know that isn't the team. I will look to complete Mertens over the next day. The only reason why I haven't completed it is because of that Ultimate Team of the Season pack. Were it not for that Ultimate Team of the Season pack, it would already be done by now. In terms of how we line up in game, because I know there will be some people who are wondering how we line up, it is this right here. So 4-2-3-1. At the moment, my back four is as is. Witsel is that CDM. Modric is given a little bit of freedom of movement. He's still on passing lanes and cover centre, I think it is. But yeah, he can do kind of what he wants. Kamada is... I don't think he's on anything. Sancho and Hazard again in the box for the cross. And then Ings is just stay forward, really. And there we go. That's it. That's the team. It is a very good team that I'm very much enjoying. And the record, by the way, is 9-4. So I haven't lost since. I went 5-0. We're doing better now than what we were yesterday. 4-4. The DC, the other questionable losses. Had I cut them out, maybe we would be doing a little bit better now. You know, 10-3 sounds good, or 11-2 sounds even better. But 9-4 is not terrible. I will win 5 games tonight. If I've got more time to do more, I will, but chances are I won't. And I'll just stop at goal 3. I'm likely to have games left. I may end up just cherry picking tonight and try and get through them as quickly as I can. It's because I'm going to need to start reviewing players again. It's just like never-ending cycle. I complete one set in one day. And I'm thinking, right, I finally got time. Oh, I've got to go to bed. Wake up. It starts all over again. And I'm fighting to try and find time. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much to all the new channel members. There are quite a few of you who I'm sure watch The Road to Glory, who are joining the channel, becoming a member. I appreciate you. And those who are joining the Patreon, a couple of new members over the last few days. I appreciate you as well. If you are one of those new members on the Patreon, there is a video going up today. It's not going to be content as such, but it is at the same time. It's a weird one. If you are a member, go watch it. It's basically me just showing you or telling you what you get with the service, if you will. And if you want to consider joining, feel free. Link down below. If you have enjoyed this video, though, do me a favor and hit the like button. Let me know what you got in your ultimate packs in the comments. Maybe I'll read some out in the next episode. And of course, you can tweet me pictures if you want. If you're taking a picture of your Mbappe or your Neymar that you're really proud of, then yeah, feel free to do so. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.